Today is Wednesday, January 4, 1961. The Ken Knock Show from KLIF in Dallas. KLIF temperature 42 degrees. This is KLIF, the mighty 1190 in Dallas. At the tone, 10 a.m.
KLIF Jetstream News.
This is Miss Schmidt. Welcome aboard KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, Flight 600 from Dublin to Amsterdam, with an intermediate stop at Manchester.
The excitement of the KLIF world is only a millisecond away.
Clif Jetstream News. Dallas. A three-car, two-truck collision on South Loop 12 this morning sent one Dallas woman to the hospital. Mrs. Jackie Smithers of 706 Garden View was received at St. Paul's Hospital, but attendants there say she's not seriously injured. The pileup occurred during a thick fog and began as a minor accident involving a pickup truck and two cars. But they were smashed into by another car and a huge produce truck, which climbed the back of and completely mashed one of the cars. No other injuries of reportable nature in this accident, just east of South Central Expressway on Loop 12. As usual, KLIF had the only radio mobile news units reporting from the scene. Havana. The Yankees are going home. Hundreds of Americans in Cuba are packing their bags, buying travel tickets, and saying goodbye to the few Cubans who aren't afraid to talk to them. The United States has advised all 3,000 Americans in Cuba to get out unless they have what is called compelling reasons to stay. Although American civilians are leaving, the Navy has no intention of relinquishing its big base at Guantanamo. A spokesman said, "Whatever happens, we're going to stay. We're bound by the directives of the United States Navy, and we're going to follow orders." He added, "We're fully prepared for any eventuality." Both the United States and Cuba have asked other nations to handle their diplomatic interchanges for them. America asked Switzerland to act as its agent in Cuba, and the Swiss government announced today that it's agreed in principle. A spokesman at Bern said Switzerland has asked Cuba to agree. Cuba asked Red Czechoslovakia to act as its agent in America. Cuban consulates throughout the United States appeared surprised at the end of diplomatic relations. Cuba had 28 consulates in America a year ago, but since then at least 5 have closed, primarily because officials resigned in protest against Castro's policies. Ankara, Turkey. The Turkish cabinet resigned today. There was no immediate explanation for the move. The cabinet governed the country in cooperation with the National Unity Committee. The committee, headed by General Cemal Gürsel, seized power May 27th in a quiet revolution that toppled the government of former Premier Adnan Menderes. Menderes, former President Celal Bayar, and other leaders of the ousted government currently are being tried at offshore Yasiada Island for alleged unconstitutional acts. Idaho Falls. An explosion believed to be of a chemical nature rocked an Army experimental nuclear reactor near Idaho Falls, Idaho last night. 3 Army personnel were killed. A spokesman for the Atomic Energy Commission said the blast was attended by high levels of radiation, but was not, and we quote, an atomic bomb explosion. The spokesman said it could very definitely be assumed there was no danger from radiation to persons off the testing station, which sprawls over 892 square miles in southern Idaho. Bangkok, Thailand. A peaceful solution is being sought in the Laotian crisis. The Southeast Asian Treaty Organization met in Bangkok and decided not to take any military action at the present time. The SEATO Council condemned the airlift of war supplies to leftist Laotian rebels by Russian planes. However, the KLIF International Desk said the nations attending withheld judgment on whether outside communist forces actually had joined the Laotian rebels. U.S. intelligence reports, which show there are North Vietnamese troops in Laos, were passed out at the meeting, but were not discussed. Dallas. Baptists are beginning a drive to have what they call unnecessary businesses closed on Sundays. Letters have been mailed to Baptist ministers and laymen because of what the Baptist Brotherhood's Executive Committee calls increasingly open violations of Sunday closing laws. The Secretary of the Brotherhood Department of the Baptist General Convention of Texas, Jfk'S, gives KLIF News this added comment.
It's not a day for business as usual or for profit. There ought to be a time in man's life when spiritual things are given an opportunity, and it is our feeling that if America loses Sunday as a day for religion, then Christianity is on the way out.
Jfk'S, Secretary of the Brotherhood Department of the Baptist General Convention of Texas, commenting on that group's drive for Sunday closing of businesses in Texas. Cliff weather, generally fair and a little warmer this afternoon and tonight. Considerable cloudiness tomorrow. High today and tomorrow in the mid-50s, low tonight in the middle 30s. Light southerly winds. Right now, winds are out of the south at 4 miles per hour. Relative humidity 60%. Cliff, Dallas temperature 42 degrees. In Fort Worth, the reading is 39. Here is the KLIF banner headline of the hour. 21-year-old Mrs. Jackie Smithers of 706 Garden View escaped serious injury this morning after being involved in a three-car, two-truck collision on South Loop 12. Jack Terry reporting Cliff News and Weather.
If it's news, you'll hear it first on
KLIF in Dallas.
Now for news of Movieland to Hollywood.
This is Jimmy Fiddler at the Cliff Hollywood desk. French singing star Yves Montand has made it perfectly clear that Marilyn Monroe is not going to be able to become between him and his wife of 11 years, Simone Signoret. Montand flew the polar route from Paris to get here rather than pass through New York City, where Miss Monroe makes her home. Montand will continue on to Japan to co-star in a picture with Shirley MacLaine after he attends to some local business matters. Mickey Rooney will star in Everything's Ducky, which will be filmed starting in March. Sammy Davis Jr., a convert to the Jewish faith, will be presented with the Man of the Year award by the Jewish war veterans in New York City. Jean Renoir, noted European motion picture director, is being lured here for his first American-made film titled A Summer World. Jimmy Fiddler in Hollywood returning you to the Ken Knox Show.
And this is Ken reminding you have 12 and a half minutes to call in and register your name and phone number if you live in the Broadway Exchange. 12 and a half minutes to call Riverside 80600, Riverside 80941, or Riverside 74771.
It's a Wednesday type morning. Keep your date with the station that's great. 1190 KLIF Radio. On this Wednesday type morning. Here's the latest on the weather from KLIF.
Generally fair and a little warmer this afternoon and tonight. Considerable cloudiness tomorrow. 42 degrees in downtown Dallas under sunshiny, clear Cliffland skies.